Good day to you. Good day to you. We are beginning an evening discussion on kids and parents making champions. We know for parents, kids are an investment, especially when you are passing 40. You need to concentrate on your kids more than your career, corporate, profession, so on. Not that you don't concentrate before that, but certainly when kids are turning 12, it's an important age that you must have them, you have to coach them. You can't hand that over to anybody else, and it has to be a daily one-on-one time with them. As I have said before, moms make it daily safe in their internal ecology, but dads make it for them how to take their next step, next stretch, the next boundary. He defines it, and how you overcome, what's the limit. So all that external impetus outward is dad's territory that gives a son or daughter approval, affirmation, accreditation. All the 3A non-Fitch ratings come from dad. So here is the point number one. Many harried and hurried parents attempt truth and correction on the run. This should not be. Unhurried time for mistake management is a vital investment, because this is a generation that they think they know all. But when they make a mistake, they are amenable to hear good wisdom. So you bide your time. When they make a mistake, you say, son, daughter, let's sit down together. Take time for it. They are willing to listen. So don't consider mistake time as nuisance time. Don't consider mistake time as wasted time. It's good time, good investment time. Digitized, all-knowing, they have acquired a lot of knowledge from the screen and from peers. That's the time they feel soft, amenable, available for course correction. Dad, never miss this time. Mom has a part in it, in initiation and softening the atmosphere. And dad must take the lead in mistake management and offer recovery, of course. Then to son and daughter, I have to tell you this: when you are 12, your plot of life and sowing has begun in earnest. Up to the age of 12, your parents' decisions will greatly weigh with you, correct? But at the age of 12, you are listening, I hope. At the age of 12, what you sow, you begin to reap. You must understand that principle. So sow carefully the kinds of friends you make, what input they have into you. So by the time you are 12, you are making choices that will affect you for life. So kid, son, daughter, puta dua, you must be, circumspect as to what you allow sown into your life. Seeds can grow weeds. So take care. And once weeds are grown in your life for 6 months, 3 months, even less, there's an area that can be ashen and wasted, and it can take a lot of time to recover. So please take care of what you take from your peers. I am Dr. Lalith Mendis. My last substantive post was as head of Department of Pharmacology. Why I got into this field is because of the digital screen, and too much of digital screen affects neurochemistry and neuronal behavior. From top-down regulation of initiation, navigation, good successful conclusion and good reward, which is the prefrontal cortex top-down regulation, which is empathic intuitive. Kids on digital screen shift to bottom-up regulation, which is any fight, flight, fright, thrill, peril that comes their way is stimulating them. So this is the generation that I am saying, take time to help them with mistake management. To sit down with your kid alone. So give them privacy when you are correcting. Don't correct in front of a crowd. As I have said before, meal time is not a good time for correction. The meal time is high oxytocin time, high serotonin time, high GABA time. Use it for forward movement. When they are more on GABA, softer, before sleeping and so on, then start your correction. When they are amenable, they are also waiting to say, I am sorry. So always capture that time before sleep. Don't give it for TV. Don't give it for your office work. Give it for kid coach time, the more empathic part of it. Of course, early in the day, you would have done some sports and so on. Always with your son and daughter, you must invest physically with them. Physical time, fun and entertainment time are very important times for their growth with you. So the second one was about the time you take for sit down time, what time should it be, and also the privacy you create for them when you are correcting them. One-on-one time is precious time, where the 2 is company, 3 is a crowd. So when you want to really do some serious connection for Ayya, you have to do it with him when Nangi is not there. But when it is relevant advice for them, you can do it for the elder sibling and the younger together. But when it is significant correction time, it must be done in privacy. Third one, do not correct in front of other kids. If not, he comes out like the scapegoat. That is a biblical expression, on the one on whom the blame comes. Recently I was doing quite a few thoughts on this biblical expressions that became Victorian English. Now it's going out of use. David and Goliath. When you are faced with a situation, a mighty thing is coming against you, and little David winning the battle. Then you're a Jonah. There was a prophet called Jonah who went wrong and who disobeyed. And so when trouble comes to the whole company, the whole ship faced a huge storm, then you say you are a Jonah. So a few expressions like that have come from, of course, you know what's the meaning of don't be a Judas. It's a great betrayal that was remembered a few days ago on Good Friday. So point number 3 is that, do not correct in front of other kids. Don't allow your kid to feel as if he's taking blame that he can't handle. So let it not be blame. It is a right track to erase off the wrong. A wrongdoer does not like a public scaffolding. Same for kids, same for adults. So don't put him in a public scaffolding when he's pushed to the wall to defend himself. As I said, it's the same for adults. Point number 4, if you return from work, let there be good works before you dig up error. Kids desperately desire appreciation. So always preface your time with them with appreciation. How did it go? And give some good words, even if they have done bad in their school studies or exam. First give them good words and build them up for correction. Because we are also like that. They try to maintain the status quo with argument. If we first don't give them the better proposition, stimulate the good in them with appreciation. That's the way to go. So when the good in them is stimulated, appreciated, they are willing to consider what was not so good as not so good. It's not good for you. Don't bring it out in your tone that this is hurtful for your reputation, or that you are correcting him or her, son or daughter, for your sake. You have to make, and the truth is that you are correcting them for their sake, that their future dividends yield would be much better for their sake. Point number 5, please do not adopt a tired, nagging tone, which intonates how many times I have told you so, I'm tired of telling you. You may not say it, but you may put it on your face and in your tone. And then never refer to the past when you want to take him forward. So with each of us, there is a grace that fetches us forward, and there's an old catch-up that pulls us backward. So understand this phenomenon. There's a grace that fetches us forward. Grace is hoping for more than what the past predicts. That's grace. So in that, the Good Shepherd has to get involved, because the human mind will predict according to the past. Same for actuaries, investments, but with your results for yourself or your child's future, you can work with grace. That's another name for God, the Good Shepherd. Grace is hoping for better than what the track record predicts. So reinstating what the track record predicts is anyone can do. That will condemn the person. And condemnation is just deserts. Parents are not there for just deserts. Courthouses are there for just deserts. Home is not a courthouse. So you give them grace that fetches forward. So when you're tried severely or your child is tried severely, you say grace fetches forward. Grace does better than the past record. Because in every human heart, there is a hope that I'll do better than the last time. Hope for a second chance. Hope that people will think of me better than I really am. Those are redemptive points, redemptive tracks in a human heart. So take care that you don't refer to the past failure, but you project the future grace possible. So when you are taking the past and giving them just deserts, that is a management style of retributive justice. But home is not the place for retributive justice. Police is there for that. Courthouses are there. Home is the place for redemptive justice. That is to make it better than what they have been doing. So I like to think of an answer script inside you before you face the exam. There's an answer script inside you prompting the right, preventing the error. Imagine an answer script like that. That is the Good Shepherd's life that comes into us, an answer script that writes the solution so that we are saved from the problem. And parental coaching, counseling, sit down together must be a time that kids look forward to when they have gone into error, character error, or their studies are in shortfall. You are there not to highlight the shortfall. He knows he just got only 23 for mathematics. He understands it. You are there to bridge the shortfall. So you need to have social capital, emotional capital, which is called grace, to fetch him forward for the better. That's why you are sitting down with him. Now, recent research shows that even if you take paracetamol, the common brand name is Panadol, it blunts empathy, because when painkillers work, it blunts empathy. It depresses GABA. So that's how painkillers work. So after Panadol, if you sit with, suppose you had a headache and you took Panadol, if you sit with your son or daughter for correction, you will be harsh. You will not be empathic. You will not keep tab of his senses. Excuse me, I'll take a little drink. You will not be empathic towards your child. So please don't try to correct them or suggest after analgesics. Yeah, that's a medical point. Yes. Then point number 6: remove offense and indictment from your voice if you expect them to be devoid of offense. Now, when children have erred, they feel a shortfall, and in that shortfall, shortfall is I should have been this, I am fallen short. He already has hurt, humiliation, fear. He hates himself sometimes for what happened, anger about it. And if it has happened in the past, it recalls for him a bad track record. Now, when you sit with him, you're not there to highlight the shortfall. You are there to bridge the gap. So say with me, I'm not there to highlight the shortfall. I am there to bridge the gap. Foolishly, they may defend themselves as if there's no shortfall. But be patient. You begin to provide the bridge the gap, then they understand the shortfall. Don't harp on the shortfall. Speak the grace that fetches forward. Speak the grace that picks up. Then they will understand, oh, I have fallen down pretty low. But when you give him the pick up, he picks up with hope rather than deny his bad posturing. Yes. Remove offense and indictment. As I told you, you're in for a redemptive investing time, that he comes out of it with flying colors. So you must have that hope when you are correcting. Don't be hopeless when you are correcting, because hopelessness will come out of your voice. So you will need coaching. If you feel hopeless about your son or daughter, problem is you. You need time before you go to attend on the son and the daughter who needs help. You need help first. You need to understand. Don't be overcome with the weakness or the situation. Be in a level ground. In fact, you have to be on a high emotional capital, social capital. That's called redemption. Okay, the Good Shepherd supplies that. We can have him helping us before you address the situation. Yes. So it can't be on the indicting mode. Let it not be in your voice or in your thought. So if you find your child is offended and offensive, don't do tit for tat. Suffer his folly a little. That's the principle of the cross, which we remembered on Good Friday. On Good Friday, the Good Shepherd suffered all our offense, all our follies. So there's an occasion for that, for the elder, for the senior, to be able to absorb and disarm the fellow, when someone has fallen short, he has condemnation in him, he talks wrong, he talks angry, he will expect to fail, he will deny the failure, he will defend himself. So you supply the good, you supply the good track, you supply the good report. That is possible, you understand? So that is grace fetch forward coaching or counseling. Don't allow your words to be like what catches up from behind and drags him down. He already knows he has messed it up. You have to give a way forward. Yes. Point number 7, never interrogate a child between two adults. The contest is not fair. He will be more defensive than normal. When it comes to the tough part, Dad, you keep speaking softly. When Dad speaks softly, there is a maternal grace in it that is redemptive. Yes. So it mimics or emulates the Savior. The Good Shepherd who became very soft and speaks in a still small voice when we are in trouble. You know that? Speaking in a still small voice helps the person who is troubled and excited. And if you're also troubled and excited in your voice and angry, it's like two swords meeting together. You achieve nothing. So cool yourself down. Yes, and you need help from the Good Shepherd for that. Point number 8, make it ongoing coaching rather than episodic upheaval or knee-jerk anxiety, knee-jerk reactions. Understand that this is a building up process. So every mistake managed time. You redeem it carefully, you plan it carefully, because I told you this generation is generally a know-all generation, because they know more than us about digital gadgets and they can help us, and they know Google, they know Chrome, and they know blah, 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 blah. So they are quite knowledgeable and quite uppish about it. So when they make a mistake, it's time, it's a door. It's a door to get into their fortress of knowledge and, digital drivenness. Make use of that time to find the little help they need. So make it ongoing coaching, investment, rather than just a knee-jerk reaction. Point number 9, you're not merely correcting or chastising a child. The end goal is you are building up a champion. Think of your child like that. And when that child is injured in the running of exams or in some way, attend on the injury. Point number 10, when you correct, child will defend what good he can, making excuses to safeguard his dignity. He will break down and cry when you denude him of all good by constant haranguing, barrage of things. So don't do it like that. Build him up to take up the correction. Build him up with appreciation. While correcting, give him some good sense, good report, worthiness. The more you break down his worthiness while correcting him harshly, what if he loses worthiness and he behaves like a worthless fellow? Don't do that. This is same for adults. Build them up with worth and value. Remember, identity and belonging. 2, worth and value. 3, success and significance. Young as they are looking for that. They want to be told what they are good at before they are told what they are bad at. That's simple logic, isn't it? Yes. But you need the Good Shepherd's help and the principle of the cross, that when you sit down with him, you are the one who absorbs like a redeemer, like a good shepherd, what went wrong with your child or with anyone else. More so for your son and daughter or your spouse. You are the one who's absorbing. So have enough emotional capital, social capital, good physical health available. Don't be doing this at the end of a tired day. So don't break down his worthiness, keep it up. And then build him up to acknowledge and say, I can do better than that. Point number 11, never get into hot diatribe or interrogation with your kid at meal times. It should be the best oxytocin, love, GABA, empathy time with serotonin satiety, meal times. After 40 years, we have good memories of how meal times were at home. It's a time for best memories every day. Kids remember meal times even when they are 50, 60 years old. Yes. Finally, at 43 half time, it's time to make kids your main investment. They are no more your branch. You have to give them space and time to become their tree, isn't it? Maybe they are 18 by that time. Maybe they are 17. So they are already becoming a tree. Help them to take good roots and give them space for their branches. Coach them for their life journey. So that's a little about kids and management, how dad and mom pitch in helping towards that, bridging the gap so they retain their worth and grace fetches forward. We don't want them to slide back into old catch-up that draws them backwards. Thank you for listening. Hope this will be helpful. Share this clip with other parents.